请 let's welcome the second player from England, Mr. Ronnie Sullivan.
Ronnie O'Sullivan's achievements does it. He's, in many people's opinion, the greatest player of all time, still playing some terrific snooker at the age of 43. But Neil Robertson, also a man for the big occasion. So settle back and enjoy it. The final session about to get underway. 使我们的 So it's Neil Robertson who holds the edge at the halfway stage, but just by 1 frame, 5-4, with 10 required to reach the final. There's not a lot of razzmatazz to the intros in this tournament, but the snooker more than makes up for it. And these two, both very determined here, I'm sure, to book their place in the final against Shaun Murphy, but only one can come through. Neil Robertson's made 3 centuries despite all the tip trouble. Let's see how he gets on in the first frame of the evening session.
Well, they both looked very determined there. So we're shaking hands, no smiles, just pure concentration.
Sullivan was saying after the winner against Karen Wilson, where of course he'd been 5-1 down, that he had felt a slight lack of sharpness that of course comes from the fact that this is his first tournament since the World Championship. He lost in the first round there, so it's a few months just getting that competitiveness back. Robertson's beaten Ding Junhui 6-3, Barry Hawkins 6-2 to get to the semi-finals.
Yes, he's a little hesitant to play that long red, although that's the one that will keep the game flowing. He's afraid of leaving the long red to the right corner on. But he's covered it. And the red not quite reaching that middle pocket, although got very close to it.
Well, big crowd in, which is good to see. And they've got a ringside seat on what feels like a final. Of course, this is a semi-final, but this is a sort of match that you really look forward to, particularly over this distance as well, first to 10.
Yeah, that's the great thing about this tournament, isn't it? That every match is like, or could be, the final. Oh, great matches, great players. Meanwhile, Neil Robertson having to go at that long red there, going into the pack of reds, and he's been really fortunate there not to leave anything on. The safety's easy enough, but he could so easily have left the game on there. And still may have. What a terrific shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan. And they certainly liked that one, didn't they? Put a smile on the faces. What a shot.
Well, I think we've seen there from both players the approach here. It's going to be attack. No quarter given. O'Sullivan in with a miraculous red. A man who really should have been on his way home, but Karen Wilson could not land the knockout blow in that quarter-final. And he's got something, O'Sullivan, that you can't manufacture, reputation. That aura of invincibility that's been built up over decades.
Yeah, Stephen Hendry had that, Steve Davis had that. It was like worth a couple of frames start, wasn't it? 14. People were just a little bit wary of what was going to come from those type of players Sullivan included. Seemed to spring off the black cushion there, but he's okay.
Nice break so far in the match, 62. I suspect that if he's going to win this match, that will have to improve.
22.
Yeah, I think he played the cannon there to the red, which would have left him on a red to the left corner, but he always knew he was going to be on this red if he missed it. And now no choice but to go into them and maybe try and screw onto the red above and to the left of the black. Well, he's on one. Could have been easier, bridging over the reds. Played the cannon to the red to hold for the black. Again, played that one well, screwing around the two cushions. It was missable, that black.
39.
Table looks to be playing superbly fast. Just over Ronnie. Played for the red just below the pink.
44.
But again, knew he was going to be on this red.
45.
Well, could play the cannon this time if he could miss the pink on the right. Just like that. Now, is the red going to go in? Well, he played to push it towards the corner, and he couldn't have played it any better. You can't legislate for knocking the red in. He missed the pink on the right, as suggested, opened all the reds up. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, because he was really going well, wasn't he? Got the good initial pot to get in, was looking really determined to kill the frame off. Little bits of luck, of course, play their part. He had some good luck in frame 3. Sullivan, he fluked a yellow, missed it initially, and then it went in another pocket, cleared up to win that frame.
Good speed there on the cue ball. And that red on the right side cushion could come into play if he plays the pot. Managed to miss it.
We may at some point get a chance to look at Robertson's tip, but I'm told that it's the same one as the first session. He hasn't got a new one on, he hasn't prepared it, so it's still a little piece of it missing.
Sullivan should be happy to leave that red on the side cushion. That was the easiest one to play safe off. Now all the reds are in play. Sullivan got to be careful because 40 points at this level is nothing. It's very close. It's very close. Great safety, and that's what he played. Going round the 3 cushions. Tap on the table there from Robertson, appreciating that good safety. He was thinking of the 2 cushion escape there, but very difficult to play it. If he's going to play it, it's got to be off the 2 reds to the left of the pink, above and to the left of the pink. Can't afford to play it, the lower one. Well, just getting the line first time round.
Foul and miss. Ronnie Sullivan, 4. Ronnie.
Oh, a little closer.
Foul
Can't
and
afford
miss.
to catch
Ronnie
the red
Sullivan,
too
4.
thick. But that was very close to becoming a good shot. A good escape.
Ronnie. Foul and miss.
Exactly
Ronnie
the same.
Sullivan, 4.
Well, some of the O'Sullivan fans applauding him having the white put back. Well, it's stacking up in terms of points now. That's 4 times he's
Ronnie
missed.
Sullivan, 4. Back.
56 in it.
Still plenty left on the table. He'll be delighted to have given those points away if he can hit a red and get safe. He's got there, but too thick, and left Sullivan with a chance. That was the danger.
It was against Robertson that O'Sullivan made his 1,000th career century last season. Last frame of the Players' Championship final in Preston. Ooh, that was surprising.
Ronnie Sullivan, 1.
Now, what's the damage? That yellow just travelling enough. And a surprising miss from O'Sullivan.
Well, this is where Robertson knows he's got to take advantage. And as Joe said, they're all there, all out in the open.
Well, he would have liked to have been straighter on the red.
8.
Going to have to go down the table now. He could play for the yellow. Well, now he's got the problem that O'Sullivan had. There was no easy red to play for. He's got to be spot on with his position or play a cannon here. And look slow.
14.
And that's what caused Ronnie O'Sullivan to miss the last time round. He was playing for the only red that would go from the yellow. He needed a good recovery, and he got one. And can he see the pink? The pink's easier. Good pot, back in prime position. Just one awkward red near the right side cushion. The yellow a little awkward.
22.
And hit it slightly.
29.
Yeah, we saw him a bit on that yellow, looking at where he wanted to leave the cue ball, as you say, for the red, and just seemed to take his eye off the pot.
30.
Well, the wrong side of the blue, which isn't going to make the red any easier. So this red is missable.
35.
Good pressure pot from Robertson there. That was missable. And a nice angle on the pink to get to the yellow.
Well, he was 4-3 down, and of course at that stage with 2 frames left, in prospect of going 6-3 down and
42.
having it all to do tonight, but he actually has a chance to open a 2-frame lead.
Yeah, again though, he's not straight enough on the yellow. He would have liked a straight pull back to the green. He's got to work the cue ball now. Oh, and he's miscued.
Well, that's the tip again. We were saying about the damaged tip,
Robertson,
which he hasn't
42.
repaired. Oh dear. So Sullivan 15 in front.
请大保持安静.
The white clean. He needs yellow, green and brown.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate from Robertson, but he was putting so much into it, trying to create the angle with a deep screw shot. But again, this isn't a gimme. Good positional shot there from O'Sullivan.
Well, it's a tale of 2 yellows in this frame. O'Sullivan missed it initially to give Robertson the chance, and then Robertson playing with a damaged tip, miscued. And it's given O'Sullivan this opening, and already 2 snookers needed.
Ronnie Sullivan, 9.
It'd be 1 snooker to tie on the pink. He's still looking at the tip, though, and that's going to be an issue, clearly, this evening. Already has been in this frame.
Yeah, Sullivan could be just a little bit sorry that he didn't play for the blue off the brown. It was such an easy brown to get onto the blue, but didn't really get onto it. It could come back to bite him. Well, was
Robertson,
trying
5.
something that was so difficult there. So that should be a frame over with.
And it means this match effectively now best of 9. Never been more than a frame between them. Well, Pink's not in. I think everyone expected him to pot that.
Myself included.
The point is, if we knew what was going to happen, sport wouldn't be any fun, would it? That was a good chance to get a snooker.
Again, it was a very difficult shot he was playing. Lots of left-hand side on the cue ball to try and check it behind the black.
The thing is, from Robertson's perspective, you know, obviously he's made the decision to continue with tip, but the fact something's gone wrong in the first frame at a vital stage, it's got to be in his mind now. Meanwhile, O'Sullivan knocks in a much more difficult pink than the one he missed to the middle. So Ronnie O'Sullivan, to the delight of his fan, Neil Robertson, he's coming back into the arena. He just indicated to O'Sullivan he was going to, might be a couple of minutes. Actually, he wasn't too long at all. 5-5.
From 11, Ronnie Sullivan's break.
Sean Murphy waiting in the final tomorrow. See Robertson in the background just working on that tip. There's enough to think about as it is, playing O'Sullivan without having that on your mind, but that's not the best break-off shot from O'Sullivan.
Well, that's probably the worst I've ever seen him play. Just reaching the baulk line, leaving an easy-ish red on. Yeah, that's certainly affected him. Miscuing on the yellow. You would expect him to pot that.
Yeah, well, you know, his cue's damaged. Simple as that. And O'Sullivan, I mean, Robertson actually apologised for not leaving an easy pot on, and O'Sullivan has stepped in, as he did at the start of the last frame, knocked in a terrific red.
Black tied up for the moment. But if he could get top side of the blue here, split the reds open, he could develop the black.
5.
Well, decided to use the pink, maybe a little too straight on the red. Yang just placing that pink at the back of the pack there, pink spot held, and it certainly makes the pack more inviting with the pink there. Oh, that's
12.
a little short. He wanted a little bit more pace in the cue ball there. He can get into the pack, but not with as much power as what he would have. Not on anything.
17.
Nothing easy anyway. Good recovery shot. But couldn't put anything on the cue ball to avoid that red on the cushion. So surely this time the safety. Well, maybe not. Oh, well, What can you do about shots like that? Bridging over the red. The blue was tough enough. Had the red not been there bridging over.
It's already the best 23 break you'll ever see.
24.
He said, as I mentioned earlier, felt he was lacking sharpness against Wilson, but the point is he still won. And now he's starting to look really good.
Well, if the pink
29.
goes, he's in business.
30.
This time a better angle on the blue to go into them. This time it's worked out better. He's developed the pink and black and all the reds.
35. Six.
Coming down for that red by the black spot. His brain always working. Could have played for any number of reds there, but chose to play for this red. So that if he does pot the black, the black spot's free. But he can concentrate on the pink and blue now. He can win the frame easily from the pink and blue.
$48. 49.
Just under hit that one slightly. Didn't really want to be playing the cannon to the
55.
pink from this red. Could go wrong.
$56.
So the red's queuing up to be potted into the left corner. But getting to that side of the table a little bit more difficult. Yeah, a little bit more difficult because he played it with right-hand side on the cue ball. So again, he's given Neil Robertson a chance to hit straight back. Did it in the last frame. Robertson was unfortunate to have got the miscue. But this is what he needed. He needed an easy chance. Try and settle himself again.
One.
Now he would like the black back on its spot. Pink not in the best position to get to, but he can do it this time round. Again, this is going to take a deep screw shot, this.
6.
Right down at the bottom of the cue ball.
7. $12. 13.
Ordinarily, you'd fancy him, but he's got this issue with his cue. Damaged tip, which cost him the last frame.
18.
Yeah, this would hurt Ronnie O'Sullivan. Missing that relatively easy blue.
Martin.
Perfectly onto the blue to get to this last red. Inch perfect. And he looked at playing for the pink this time round. Just working out the score. Would he need the pink and black? David's normally quicker at that than me.
25.
Well, he's going to need them all, isn't he?
And that's why he's considering the pink, getting the pink back on its spot. Yeah, good shot. It makes the black a little bit easier to get to from the pink spot.
31.
If he gets that far, it's not a gimme, that black.
33.
Sullivan just needed the blue and a red, and it would have been snooker's required, but missed the blue.
36. 40.
Doesn't want to be straight. Just about got enough angle to get closer to the pink. And nothing for being straight on the pink here. Either side is good,
45.
but straight. And that's just about right to drop in behind the black.
$51.
Oh, that's a little bit too much. Oh, now big decision to make. If he plays the pot it from there, he's got to play it dead weight to give the black every chance. Otherwise, it's the safety. Just a little bit too hard in potting the pink. No.
What a sickener for the Aussie. I bet he wishes now Sullivan had just won the frame when he was in. He had the chance, he didn't quite come right on the black, he's left it hanging invitingly in the jaws. In it goes, and Ronnie O'Sullivan's back in front. O'Sullivan made a really good clearance there, and then O'Sullivan had a fluke on a yellow in clearing up to win the third. So you put that together with a couple of close frames in this session. Robertson, you know, could be a long way in front, he knows that. The fact is he's trailing again. Well, a phone went off there just as he was playing that, and he didn't get close to the pot.
请观众再检查一下手机。
Shouldn't happen.
Yeah, there's nothing worse, David. Just as you're taking your shot, phone goes off. Too late to stop the cue arm going. Now, will he go into them here? Or try and play for that loose red? The cue ball's just a little high on the blue for comfort. Well, was there any doubt? Now, is he on one? Is he on an easy one to the left corner? I'm not sure. He's on one to the left middle or the yellow pocket. He didn't hold back there, did he? He's a brave player, Neil Robertson. And the way he played that black in the last frame tells you that he's a brave player, because it was always going to be right over the pocket if he missed it. But that was the way to play it, to give it every chance of dropping. Just didn't quite get close enough to the pocket.
He's also the sort of player, and we know this from having watched him, you know, when something goes wrong, when he has a setback, it seems to make him stronger. He does come out determined to put it right.
Big shot this. Big shot. Well, he knew he was leaving a red on if he missed it. Or did he try and hide that red to the left corner? If so, then I think he's still left a red to the left middle. So I'm not sure if he can play the cannon to the red directly above the black, but if he could, that would be the ideal ball to play for. Try and leave an angle this time round to play the cannon to that red. Perfect. Very nearly got the cover, but I think he's okay.
16. 17.
Remember, Ronnie Sullivan hasn't lost in Shanghai since 2016. Won the last two stagings of this tournament, first as a ranking event and then last year as an invitation title.
24.
This was the first of 5 titles he won last season. Of course, he did go back to the top of the world rankings, although Judd Trump has now overtaken him again.
32. 33.
I think the rivalry with Trump is interesting. Obviously, they can't play each other in this event, but you can have you don't need to be playing the other guy to have a rivalry with him. He's seen Trump take the headlines and the plaudits and the trophies of late, but he can remind everyone that he's very much still a major force in the game if he wins his first tournament of the season.
Again, that's a nice shot he's just played there, giving himself choice of 2 reds, one to the corner, one to the middle. By screwing around the 2 cushions, he gave himself that chance. Perfectly on both reds. Now, may play a little cannon here to that red to the left of the pink spot. Again, doesn't need to.
.50 in front.
56. 57.
Robertson took that red onto the yellow pocket. It's a little bit do or die.
He was unfortunate, really, wasn't he, Robertson, because he could have been on something a lot easier after splitting the pack as well as he did. Very, very unfortunate. Tough red.
64.
Made tougher by the fact that he knew he was leaving the frame on.
65.
If he missed it.
This is O'Sullivan's highest break of the match so far. He needs another red after the black. And he'll be 2 clear for the first time.
72.
Yeah, crowd applauding. He still needs this red, though.
73.
No problem. So a quick kill. And the question now, is he going to sprint to the finish line? He looks very confident, Ronnie O'Sullivan. In the odd error, he knows he could have lost the first 2 frames of the night, but he didn't lose them.
78.
Got 1 more frame to come before the interval, a big frame for the Australian.
79.
And look at that shot again. Choice of 2 reds to play for.
86.
Excellent positional shot.
87.
Misses the pink on 87. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan for the first time. 2 frames clear. 7-5. 3 away from a meeting with Shaun Murphy in the final.
Well, again, I said in the last time he broke off that never seen him break off so poorly, but this is another one and a chance for Robertson. And missed it by a long way again. He missed it thick the last time he played that same shot. And that's not looking good for Robertson fans. He could have won all 3 frames, to be fair. He went into the pack in the last frame and didn't finish on an easy red. Could have won the previous 2. But now he's seen that O'Sullivan has got his eye in.
Yeah, your best chance of beating O'Sullivan, of course, is to get him under pressure, but to do that, you need to be in front. Often when he goes in front, he stays there.
Has he come far enough? Anxious looks there from O'Sullivan. And that's careless if he's not on this red. He had such a large margin to play with there. Could have hit it 3 foot harder and still been on the red. Well, a little bit of frustration maybe, because look where the cue ball is. I'm pretty sure he tried to hide that red to the left corner. But looking good. Looking good now. And it's very intimidating for your opponent to see him going for shots, reckless shots really. That double wasn't guaranteed by any means. But all of a sudden your opponent's thinking, well, he can't miss. And he isn't doing it at the moment.
No, I think over the course of the day, you know, his positional play hasn't been as precise as maybe
31.
you're used to seeing, but, you know, we can still keep the break going by pulling out a great pot. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is just getting to the winning line, ultimately. He is a perfectionist, we know that, but you can improve if you're still here.
A fraction. Very nearly overhit it.
39.
I think this is a lively table, Joe, isn't it? This table 1 now.
It's very fast and it's springy off the cushions.
Well, that seemed a little kick.
47.
It sounded heavy as well, didn't it?
Cue ball just seemed to die.
Too high.
Yeah, it made a difference.
47.
Break ends at 47.
Yeah, I don't think he got position though. Sullivan will be delighted. Looking at the possibility of a plant. Yes, great shot. He's such a brave player, Neil Robertson. Didn't just play that plant as a shot to nothing. He played for the blue, and look where he is on the blue. Now, he could decide to go into them here. If he could miss the pink or catch it thin on the right, they should split nicely if he plays that shot. Caught it full. Still unfortunate not to be on one. Just not getting the luck when he needs it.
Robertson 6.
Finished with a good safety though. No easy path back to balk without playing a risky shot. Looks like he's playing it. In fact, the red may even go. Well, a half chance for Neil Robertson. Well, maybe not. Maybe the red doesn't go past the black. It does. And this time he knocks it in. It looked a little bit springy off that side cushion, I've got to say. Good recovery, but not the best kiss. Gonna fight through this bad running he's having. Harder, it was in, but a gift for Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yeah, he's not backing away from anything, Robertson, but that was not guaranteed, and he didn't pot it, and he'll be expecting now to be 8-5 down at the interval.
1.
In front.
7. 8.
Look at the way he played that shot, left-handed with right-hand side on the cue ball to get closer to the black.
So another check of the scoreboard tells him it's 2 more balls needed.
15. 16.
Could have left himself a little better on this black. But no problem.
Yeah, it was a bit unlucky first time of asking that kick. Made the black that he missed on 47 missable, but he's made the most of this chance. It's been a close match, this. It feels closer than 8-5. In fact, Robertson has had chances certainly to be in front himself, but score is what the score is, and Ronnie O'Sullivan is going to be 2 frames away from another final here in Shanghai.
31.
Well, Neil Robertson came out tonight leading 5-4. But Sullivan has won all 4 frames. The rocks set in the opening frame. That miscue on the yellow. Ronnie O'Sullivan 8, Neil Robertson 5. That's the score in the second semi-final of the Shanghai Masters. O'Sullivan looking to complete the hat-trick of victories here. 3 in a row in Shanghai, with Sean Murphy awaiting in tomorrow's final.
Thank you. Frame 14, Neil Robertson to break.
Well, if it's going to happen, it's going to have to start here for the Australian.
Well, it starts with a good break off. Getting that cue ball tight to the cushion makes this pot very difficult. Doesn't look as though he can take the red on and miss the black. Well, he might be tempted by the red next to the black into the left middle. Playing the snooker instead, I feel. Not expecting to be left a red from this escape, but he's got the safety advantage. Easy enough to skim off the reds or play the other red. Leave the cue ball in the balk area. Could have played it better. He's allowed Sullivan to get his hand on the table, and he just might take this red on to the left corner. He'd only believe in the red he's playing. Those are good odds. Great pot. Coming around the 2 cushions to finish perfectly on the black. Tremendous shot, but from a poor safety, you've got to say, from us, from Neil Robertson. Well, that's got the reds open. Nothing easy, but this red may cut to the right middle. Won't quite know where the cue ball's going.
Nine.
I'll settle for that. Slightly the wrong side of the blue, but again, should be okay.
We saw in our interval coverage, looking back to last year, in the last frame against Hawkins in the final,
14.
just how quickly he can kill a frame off once he gets the balls open.
Well, got him with a great red, but shouldn't have been allowed to see it. And that just
15.
dropped in the pocket. And surprisingly, playing for one of the balk colours, I thought it was easy enough to play for the blue. But this guarantees him getting back to the reds. And now choice of reds to get to the black.
18. 26. 27.
Well, he's just got to hope something goes wrong here for O'Sullivan. Be very annoyed with himself that he allowed him to see that red that he knocked in.
34.
Because he's at a stage where he just cannot afford to make
35.
mistakes like that.
Yes, it was elementary. Just skimming off the reds. The cue ball should have been tight to the cushion. There's no reason why it shouldn't have been within an inch or so. Well, he was hoping for something to go wrong, and that's a very fortuitous
42.
kiss to leave himself perfectly on this red.
43.
Just nudging the red away from the other one to develop them.
$50. 51.
Well, he could decide to go into them, but there's no need to. Just a gentle little split, leaving himself on that red to the left middle. Knew exactly what he was doing there.
57.
Yeah, and he knows it instinctively as well. His mind works so quickly. Average shot time, 17.5 seconds for the match. 2 balls away from a 9-5 lead.
In a matter of just minutes.
65.
This is the guy that made a maximum in just over 5 minutes. And long may it continue, I say, because we may never see his like again.
72. 73.
All these millions
79.
of Chinese people watching O'Sullivan play, and I'm sure that one of them will want to aspire to what he's doing. But so special a talent.
Well, that's the thing. What's interesting, you know, he's been the dominant figure in the game,
86.
certainly the last 10
87.
years, last 15 years. He's also been the most popular. Go back to the times of Steve Davis and Stephen Hendry, they were absolutely dominant, but of course, because they were so winning so much, a lot of people wanted them to
93.
lose. But it seems everyone wants Ronnie to win.
94.
And this is why, breaks like this, it's going to be a century. In the blink of an eye. He's annoyed he didn't get the red out. But that's the perfectionist in him. Neil Robertson just had to sit and watch. Well, the red's in anyway.
You just can't miss, Kenny. Tremendous.
A 102 from Ronnie O'Sullivan, his first century. And with it all to do, he's a very determined player, a great player, but this is a tall order, make no mistake. Starts with a good pot.
Yeah, he's been missing them thick to this pocket. And thick again. Fortunately, hasn't left anything on. He's frustrated because he can't understand why he's missing those balls to this pocket so thick. Why, he's saying. They normally go in. Well, he didn't play the double, otherwise he would have tried to play onto the black. The black didn't go to the... Well, it's a half chance, that's all you could say, because this is a very difficult pot. Little cut back into that right corner. Good shot. He decided to hold for the black. Thought he was going to play up for the blue there, but tough black, tough position. There goes the black, and he's held the cue ball well. He's done well to hold for this red. Such a thin shot on the black.
9.
Just wriggled in, but maybe a chance now to go into them. Not the best of packs to go into. More stun than screw. Happy. Who's happy?
16.
It's a big bounce. Just under hit it. Another tough black. Probably try and play the cannon to the red above and to the right of the black. There's two reds to the right of the pink. If you could play the cannon to them, he should be on the red to the middle. First of all, get the black, which he has done, and he's on the red to the middle, maybe on the one to the corner. Tremendous shot.
25.
Well, still may need to go into that cluster again. So if you can play the cannon to that red just to the right of the pink, if you missed it, it'd be on the red over the middle. The reason why I suggested that shot is that it develops that red, but being a left-handed player, he might still be able to get to that red.
33.
Again, could play into the pack, but if he does, miss the pink on the right. I'll catch it thin on the right. That's the one, and that leaves him on the red to the middle. And they're all developed now.
38.
Neil Robertson, the most successful non-British player in snooker history, 16 ranking titles to his name. And he, of course, grew up without the advantage of the infrastructure that the British players have.
Well as what he has, without all of that. It just shows you that it can be done, and I expect a Chinese player to do just that, because they've started having the infrastructure as well now. Oh, he's miscued again there, I feel, because that cue ball didn't come back.
You could actually see, as he was playing it, the little bit of the tip that's missing. He did have the option, Robertson, to put a new tip on, get Paul Collier, the referee, to do it. Decided not to. He may wish now that he had done. It definitely cost him the first frame of the night.
Well, that's a terrible shot, that, from Sullivan. leaving this red on, but it's still a tough shot, this, and lots of pressure on it. Yeah, there was lots of pressure on that. He knew he was sticking frame and match up, but maybe that red going next to the yellow may have saved things. Well, I thought he left a red on to the right corner. Obviously not, so he's got away with that one.
Yeah, the other point about, you know, growing up in Australia, of course, ultimately turning professional, he had to come to Britain because that's where all the qualifying was held. So it was a big risk. Initially, when he came over, he didn't last very long. He went back home. He did think about walking away, but gave it one more go and reached the top of the sport. And that's quite an inspiring story, I think, for anyone who has a dream to follow.
All or nothing again.
Yeah, it's just not happening, is it?
Well, it's happened here because he hasn't, I don't think he's left anything easy on. And that's what needs to happen. You know, the last time he played the red to the middle, he got away with it. This is a tough one. Yeah, that was tough. I'm just having a look to see if he's left one on, but he's left one on to the middle if not.
Well, yes, but he can't rely on not leaving balls on when he's missed. He's got to start knocking them in if he's going to win.
I suppose you can afford to take that tough red on along the cushion like he did when you're 9-5 up. Well, different now. Well, surely not playing the plant with that red over the pocket. The red must go into the pocket. Turn the camera around a little. But that's where you'd need to hit.
1.
Bit of showboating from Hawkeye, wasn't it, that? I won't play the straight red. Meanwhile, the little extensions rolled to the edge of the auditorium. As I say, though, he knows he's got to now cut out all errors if he's going to turn this around. He's had a bit of fortune missing and not leaving O'Sullivan in. That's not bound to continue. Good chance now to win this one. Black puts him 60 in front.
Well, if he's not hard enough for the red to the corner, he's got one to the middle. He won't give in, that's for sure, Robertson. He's disappointed in his tip, for sure, but he'll keep trying.
22. 23.
Just the black needed to have pulled a frame back. The crowd letting him know that was frame ball.
30. Here Robertson says.
Well, 2 snookers required. Will O'Sullivan carry on? No, he won't.
And he can avoid the black and the red. So you've got to call these chances nowadays. Decent chances. So you could call that a let-off. And because he missed the red thin, that cue ball's travelled further away from the ball cushion than he wanted. Oh, look at that for a shot from O'Sullivan. Terrific red, terrific cannon, and a chance. Just so talented. Had a go at the red, and as I say, missed it thin.
9.
Left the red on, but my word, what a red he potted there on Sullivan. Now, chance maybe to go into the reds, develop them, stay on the red. Played it perfectly. Never avoids the shot on Sullivan.
16.
And he's got choice of reds here to take, one to the left, one to the right. But by taking the one to the right corner, that frees the red just above the cue ball into the same pocket.
17.
So thinking all the time, which is the best red to play for. Both reds led to the black. Lots of reverse side on the cue ball. Left hand side.
24.
Springs off right.
25.
And things happen so quickly. Sullivan's at the table.
$30. 31.
Straighter on the blue than he wanted. Well, those two reds to the right of the pink, well, they mustn't go to that right corner, otherwise he'd play a little screw back to where he is now and play those two reds. So they obviously don't go, so playing the more difficult red to the left corner could be a little bit of a life here for Robertson.
36.
Needs a good recovery shot. Right in the middle. No danger of missing that one.
37.
And the kids could have been kinder. Not quite on it to the corner, not quite on it to the middle. No, but just struck it in easily. Just fractionally underhit it for the two reds to the middle. But no problem to Sullivan.
Looks set to go 6-4 down. First frame of the evening was big. It's when Robertson miscued on the yellow. Had a chance to really get O'Sullivan
50.
under pressure.
51.
Yeah, that miscue on the yellow in the first frame of this evening has proved very costly.
I think apart from anything else, it just planted a seed of doubt in Robertson's mind as well. If you're not confident in your
58.
equipment, then you know it's already hard. You're playing Ronnie O'Sullivan,
59.
but that's on your mind as well. It was always going to be a tall order. He's a couple of balls away here from killing it off. He'll need red and a colour.
Not quite hard enough for the easier reds. But everything going in the middle of the pocket. There's no danger of anything missing.
Yeah, that's what's been impressive, really. Even when he's not been in an ideal position, he's kept on potting. And this is the ball that's going to put him in the final. Ronnie O'Sullivan then, with a chance to win a third successive Shanghai Masters. It's Shaun Murphy, the last man standing in his way.
70.
And what a final it's going to be. Shaun Murphy playing at his best again. It's great to see. And now Sullivan starting to hit the ball well.
78.
Don't miss it. We won't.
Best of 21, 200,000 to the winner and 100,000 to the runner-up. Big money match.
85. 86.
So is he going to finish with a second century? Neil Robertson obviously will look back on this match thinking about the 6th frame where he damaged his tip, and after that he was always up against it, although of course he did make a century after that in the last frame of the session.
91.
Chose not to put a new tip on.
92.
But the other problem he had was who he was playing. Ronnie Sullivan, first tournament of his 28th season as a professional, still
99.
producing the goods. It's another century, second of the session, just underlining how well he's playing. He should have been out. Kyron Wilson was 5-1 up, had chances to beat him, didn't put him down. The only man who can do that now is Shaun Murphy.
109. 112. 116. 121.
One of the most remarkable careers of any sports person. Continuing at the very highest level.
127.
Nearly 3 decades on from when he turned pro. Quite incredible. And a trademark show-stopping finish, a second century from Ronnie O'Sullivan. The post-mortem over the tip, obviously.